Which one of us are going to get her first?
I don't know. Whoever's single.
Okay. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Get it.
You can do a little freestyle if you want. That's not frowned upon here.
I can only freestyle in the shower. Can't do it here.
After taking a dump. That's a little joke just for us.
Hello.
Boom! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the South Coast Poster Child, your host, Jackson Grant.
This is me.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
We do something
Yeah,
here.
we do a little something here. By the way, everyone, Rib's been outfering us since we arrived.
Do you just go to a restaurant and hop in the kitchen and say, "Don't worry, I'll make it myself"?
Yeah, if I work there.
Well, you don't.
Do you know what he did? He's just a bit too cool. He's been a bit too cool today. Am I sounding all right?
You're sounding great.
Am I sounding really good?
Yeah, you're sounding good. I'll turn you up a little bit.
Tell me. Oh, there we go.
There we go. All right, that's the you know that voice. You love that voice. That is the Terry Crews of Sydney,
Woo!
the Steamroller, Karim Diallo. How you been, my dude?
I've been nice.
Give
I've
me
been
an intro.
You're just going to cover him, okay?
I know.
How about, this is...
He's cool, but he's impatient, which
he's
is
very
kind of cool.
impatient. Is it cool to be impatient?
Cool to be a patient.
Okay.
He's
making
being
bad
very
jokes
cool,
now.
but not very funny. I'm kidding, of course. He's one of the funniest dudes I know. Guy that goes by the name of Riv Narak.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
How have you been, homeboy?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah, what's been happening?
Nothing. I got promo some dates coming up.
What is this
We've got Quarryman's Hotel coming up on the 25th of August. Please come down. I'll be there. I've got some fringe shows lined up if anyone wants to come. 1st September, 2nd September, 4th September, 8th September.
Tell us about these shows. What are you doing?
And these will be in Newtown. So these are the Newtown hotels. They'll be like, the boys or whatever. And then 1st October, 2nd October, this will be in Chippendale for the Western Sydney Showcase. So please be there. And if there's any Melbourne fans out here, any Melbourne fans, 13th October and 17th October, come down. It'll be in this, can't remember the name of the place, but look up the AFL show.
Dave, what's going on? Why are you so cool lately? He's got dates. He's coming in making Jackson make him a coffee. He's staring at me and then vaping as soon as I see him.
I don't know how Jackson has a McCafe cup, by the way.
Yeah,
How do you have a McCafe cup?
me and my housemate, we went to McDonald's, and when we went in there, they made us wait for like 15 minutes or something like that before they gave us like a muffin and a coffee.
Oh, don't. That's a bit too long.
So then we walked back to the car. My mate was fuming about it, actually. Just
15
having to
minutes.
wait that long at McDonald's. I was like, it's fine, dude. We're not in a rush or anything.
Yeah.
Then we get back to the car, and he just couldn't stop like complaining about it, how long it took. And then he jumped back out of the car and ran back inside and grabbed one of the mugs and came back out again as like a repayment.
Oh, dang. So he stole it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they sell these or something?
No. They give them to you if you like you're at the cafe.
So he
there or
just found
something.
one sitting there and just took it.
Yeah.
What's his name? Where does he live? And is it right if you call up 000 over there, Riv?
Yeah. Which McDonald's was this?
Yeah, which McDonald's was it?
I don't know. We were driving somewhere. It was maybe like Lidcombe or something.
Right.
I was in
Something
Lidcombe
like that.
yesterday, so I caught the train towards that way. Bro, I get on the train in Central, sit next to this guy, and this guy gets off his chair.
What are you talking about?
walks
He
out
gets off? Like he's...
No, he gets up and he walks out of the train.
So he gets off.
He gets out of the
I
train
made a
just as the
joke.
door's closing. Like he had to sneak out. So he just, as soon as I sat next to him, he just legged it. And then as he's outside, I'm just looking at him. He's just looking straight at me. I'm like,
Looking straight at you?
yeah. And I'm just like, what the?
What kind of dude was he?
Dang.
White guy.
Old, young?
Probably like 30, 33 or some shit.
Was
like
he
that.
sus on you? Or
What's going on?
He was carrying something. Or
I don't know. As soon as I sat down, I just saw him fidget and he walked off as
Whoa.
the door was closing.
Whoa.
So I don't think he was getting off there.
He probably got off a bit later because he was attracted to you. What about that? Like you sit next to an attractive guy and you get an erection and you run. Like you literally run away. Like this is a scary thing. I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Like it's probably a lot of people out there.
I like that, like the physical, like because you talk about like running away from homosexual thoughts, but like legit, like
Yes.
physically running away.
This guy is making me attracted.
And it was a long train ride, so he's like, "Can I handle 6 stops?"
Dang, yeah. Will I bust my pants by the time I get to I don't even know where you're
I'll
heading.
just catch the next train.
Yeah.
And the
It
next
might be
train,
true.
someone sits next to him again. What happens? He just
No, he's probably an unattractive person.
I think it's socially acceptable to jerk off on an airplane, right? If it's like a 10-hour flight.
in the bathroom, or
Yeah, in the bathroom. Yeah.
I wouldn't judge anyone
bathroom?
for that.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't judge him.
I personally say, yeah, control yourself. I've never done it.
Yeah,
It's a 24-hour flight.
You can control yourself.
Yeah, sometimes.
You're just really pissed
You watched
off.
all
Wait
the
a second,
movies.
24-hour flight. What are we talking about?
That's to England.
What are you talking about? A 24-hour flight?
What do you mean?
Is that a 24-hour flight?
Yeah, from here to England.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Is it?
At
What
like
is it?
hour 5, the air hostess is like walking past and you're like, "Ooh, mama."
Wait, is it 24 hours? I don't know if it's 24
Yeah, it's 24
hours.
hours.
Is it?
Yeah, I've done it.
I guess
It's horrible.
Really? And you cranked one out?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
Nah.
Were you kind of fuming at the end, being like running to the bathroom at Heathrow, London Heathrow? Just being like, get me a stall right now. Right now. I got something you can put in your coffee right here. Love. I got something that can sweeten it up. Yeah. They're liking that. They're liking that one.
I think
They're
you're in
liking that
control of the board moving forward.
one. Yeah,
I think you're the board man.
I might be the board man. The board man. We're all the board men. Do you know what I mean? Like, go over. If you've done a funny joke, Riv.
The board
and you
man,
feel
what
like
are we
you-
talking about? Me when I'm listening to one of my girlfriend's stories? I'm joking. She's got great stories.
Girls
Does she have-
don't have stories.
Do you think girls have good stories? Does your girlfriend have any good stories? What about your girlfriend like just has an amazing story? You're like, wait, what? What's going on here? Are you kidding me? I'm really invested in this.
Yeah, and then
did
he
what?
says, yeah.
I'm like, what did he do next? What?
It's just too many tangents when girls tell a story.
You think?
You're listening to like 4 stories at once, and it's just like, come on.
You got to know all the characters as well.
Yeah.
You're like trying to jump in on the pilot, but she's like,
Yeah.
this is season 4.
It's like,
trying
Star,
to-
it's like Star Wars. They give you episode 4 first.
Trying
and then
to-
they come back to the.
Trying to jump in on the pilot. What are we talking about? Riv Narak on a 24-hour flight to London, and there's a female pilot. There we go, folks.
Oh, yeah. So what I was going to ask about that was, all right, so flights, you're allowed to jerk off. How long does a train ride have to be before you can jerk off in a bathroom?
But there's no bathrooms in trains.
There
I
are.
personally,
There are.
yeah, I think train rides are way more acceptable. There's something kind of unacceptable, and probably, I don't know. I think I heard something crazy about you can't jerk off up in the sky. It does weird things
Like what?
to your sperm.
You can only jerk off over imagining guys in the sky, apparently.
No, but there's something going on in the sky, and we don't really know what it is yet. Because I know a whole bunch of flight attendants, or if you're a flight attendant for 10 years, you can't have kids.
Really?
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
that's a thing.
Are you sure?
What?
Yeah, flight attendants who have served 10 years can't have kids.
Look this up, Jamie.
Look it up,
Dang.
Jamie.
Well, I guess I've been a flight attendant for 10 years in that case.
But yeah, there's something going on in the sky. I don't know
why
what
they do it. It's such a shit job. You're just like a waiter, you know. Like, do you really like?
You get to
and
travel
then-
the world.
Yeah, but you have to go on planes, and you got to go to different airports. Like, you're never relaxed.
I like that though. I think there's a part of me that could definitely become a hostess.
If I have to fly, just going to the airport just kills me.
You don't like the airport. I
Just
absolutely.
getting there. Oh, you're fucking 2 minutes from the airport, but going from
Oh,
Western
true.
Sydney to the
Yeah.
airport, that's a trip on its own.
Dang.
You need to take a flight to the airport.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, they're building an airport now in Western Sydney.
Really?
Yeah, near
Really?
Liverpool.
Wow.
Okay, let's.
Badgerys Creek, I think it's called.
Imagine the security protocols out there. You just go through a metal detector and then another one and then another one. You'd have to have like 50 people on staff just patting people down. Yeah, this is a random security search. And they're like, we're doing all of you.
Please take off your TNs before boarding.
Imagine a Western Sydney airport.
Yeah.
It'd be terrifying.
It's gonna be a thing.
I'm
like
not.
2
I'm
years'
not.
time.
I'm not going to get on that plane. I can tell you that much.
There'll be like guys playing fucking music on their phones in the back of the back of the plane.
Bro, we're going to Italy. We're going to Italy, cuz. Christian Dior. Bro, how much longer we got on this flight? How much longer we got?
It'll be like America. Like America has areas where if you catch a plane in certain states, it's just like horrible. It's always a bad.
Dang.
You
It'd
know,
be like,
but-
get out, I'm jerking off. Get out.
But in Australia, we only got the main airports, right? Like on the coast, and then we got regional.
So this is going to be a terrible airport.
This will be the
when
first kind of inner suburb airport in like a city, urban area.
It's going to be Liverpool.
Yeah, next to Badgerys Creek or Badgers Creek.
So it's just going to be for people from the western suburbs.
Pretty much, I guess.
Is it that hard for you to get to the airport? Isn't the airport basically right in the west? It's like right in the middle of everything.
No.
Yeah.
What, the Sydney airport?
Yeah.
It's here. It's like...
Yeah. We're basically like on the way to the western suburbs. This is the inner west.
Imagine just a nice English family like flying to that airport and hopping out and just being like, oh my.
It'd be crazy.
We flew over here to get away from the stabbings, didn't we? I don't even know. Is that what goes down out there? Is the numbers inflated for how many stabbings there are?
I went
Not
to
in, like Liverpool area.
in
like,
Liverpool.
I don't think stabbing is a thing in Sydney. I didn't hear about
Shootings. It seemed to be the bigger thing now.
shootings.
There's a lot of shootings going on.
it. Really? Those are
Yeah.
rare.
There's a big gang war going on.
Why don't you hear about it?
You do.
Why don't I ever hear anyone say?
Oh, yeah, why
that-
don't I ever hear about it? Because you only what is it? Take in like hipster lefty media.
Ah,
Do
true.
you know what I mean? Me and Riv are Republicans. Like we're basically taking in conservative newspapers.
We watch Sky News.
It's basically saying they are not from here and they are shooting each other.
I'm sorry, guys. I just think my girlfriend's interesting and has cool stories.
But yeah, I literally go on Sky News and stuff like that on Facebook, and it's talking about the shootings. And I love the comments.
Yeah,
It's
there's
basically
a-
like,
there's-
let's just let them kill each other, kill them all.
There was a couple of years period where they were just talking about the gangs in Melbourne. Like, do you remember
Oh,
that?
yes, I
they'd
remember that
always
one.
talk about-
That was the
I think
Sudanese.
Sudanese gangs.
Yeah.
That's all they'd talk about. And I don't know. No, they don't talk about
Now
it.
it's the Lebanese because they're actually shooting people. They're actually shooting each other.
But that's been happening forever.
I don't know if it's been this intense.
Oh, it's, in the 80s, it was way more.
Really? It's
Yeah,
getting
like the
it's getting
cross
a
and
bit,
all that.
It's getting a bit crazy now.
Nah, it's
like I
nothing
was
compared to back then.
I was like just watching the news and it's like, oh yeah, 2 women have just been
Oh, yeah, I
like
saw that.
shot and it's like, oh bang, okay, they're going for women now.
Yeah, there was a couple of shootings near my house.
Yeah.
And in a nice suburb too, like one
Really?
of the most expensive suburbs called Bella Vista. And
Maybe talk more into your mic.
and someone's house got shot up
Yeah.
in there. And this is like a suburb. It was like a house cost like $2 million. Yeah, someone got shot
I
up
wonder
there.
how they got that 2 mil, is what I'm saying. Folks. Let's go into this. I really want to break down the
I got
Sydney
a 2
crime
mil
going
for
on.
you. 2 millimeter.
That's kind of really nice. I think they like that
Have you ever seen a gun in person? Like
Yeah, I've held one.
what, like a mate or something? Like
Yeah.
that?
one. Oh,
It was really scary.
What, like a Glock?
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah,
He had a
Very-
gun.
Very heavy.
Why do you have a gun?
Huh?
Why did he have a gun?
It's just into stuff.
Dang, you really are from the West. This is
You know, as soon as
terrifying.
I held it, right? So like, he's like, "Oh, do you want to hold it?" I was sitting in the back of the car, him and his girlfriend at the front. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll hold it." I'm like, "Oh, it's sick."
Yeah.
And he drops me home, and then I'm at home. I'm like, "My fingerprints are on that gun now." Like,
And there was a gun.
dude, this guy just tricked me into putting my fingerprints on his gun.
If he was funny, he would take the gun to like a gay brothel and then just leave it there. Like, yeah, a gun was found at a gay bathhouse. Riv Narak's fingerprints were on it. It would be a funny bit.
You're
But
like,
dang,
damn,
yeah.
I didn't bring a gun.
I didn't have a gun, but a lot of
Let it come.
that'll probably do. That'll do.
Have you ever been worried, kind of knowing it's about? Do you know what I mean? Like you're living amongst it.
I'm in pretty good suburb. That's the thing. So like,
You're in the West, so there's
It's-
no good suburbs
there are
after a
good
certain
suburbs,
train
like,
point.
There's a cutoff period. So I'm in Park Lee.
Sounds
which is very
terrifying.
nice.
It sounds terrifying. I'm just going off what I've heard. Park Lee. If I'm into Park Lee walking alone at night, I'm terrified.
No, not at all. Such
Really?
a nice up. Not like nicer than here. Like you go there, it's just parks and
In
trees
Lee.
and lakes and shit.
This is Parks and Lee. Hey, mate. Yeah, it's me. It's Park Lee.
That's nice. It's like a nice Simpsons show.
That is a nice little.
Hey, there's a park, and there's a Lee.
Hey, buddy.
It's just like a guy walking along with Lee written on his shirt.
Welcome to Park Lee. As you expected.
But Blacktown I usually avoid.
Oh.
And I went
There's
to
a
Stel-
town, and there's a.
But yeah, I avoid Blacktown. And I went to school there. But now, like, if I got to go to Blacktown, I'll find another place where I can shop for the same thing. I'll avoid it.
Really?
You can buy gay pornos in both towns.
I went to a butcher in Blacktown once. I don't know if we spoke about this once, but 10 a.m. I probably went.
Yeah.
We did speak about this. And I'm walking up towards a butcher.
He's like, hey, you want to hold my gun? I'm like, no, I just want some tenderloins.
And I'm walking, and I look left, and there's two black guys yelling at each other, and they're standing from like on the opposite sides of a car, and the guy's like smacking the car with his hand. And I'm just watching, and then one of the guys pulls out a machete, and then he's smacking the car with a machete. I don't know whose car it is. And then he's chasing him around the car with a machete. And the guy getting chased is just cracking up laughing. And their mates are standing there in a group, and they're laughing. These guys are like older, like 40-year-olds. And then
So they're from Africa.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
Machete. We're playing Machete, Duck, Machete. There we go. That works.
machete.
Duck machete.
And,
What you talking about? We're playing Duck, Machete. You want to join in, Riv?
And then while that's happening, like I was thinking, is this a big deal? Because they're laughing. But then everyone else is running away. It's like old ladies just running down the road, like because everyone saw it. But
She
it was,
didn't even see the machete. She just saw black people running and smiling. She was terrified.
But it was just such a surreal thing to see.
Yeah.
And you're like, is this a joke or is
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
They have a machete, and then I'm walking away.
I think you have a lot of, Ghanaians, a lot of those people in West Africa look like they're happy all the time. Because they've got very big mouths. So they're probably terrified to be like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't stab me. But there is a thing. Like, he probably looked like he was smiling, but he was probably just Ghanaian.
Oh, he looked like he was laughing.
That's the thing. Because they've got such big, happy mouths.
Yeah.
That it looks like they're laughing all the time.
Yeah.
But he was probably terrified.
Another time, I'm pretty sure I saw a guy get kidnapped. So it's the same area of Blacktown. We're at El Jannah, and we're eating, and then outside we see an Indian guy without his shirt on, just like yelling and walking past.
Yeah. And he's kidnapping the air, making it smell bad. He's like, I'm going to hold the air hostage. I won't put on a shirt until you hand me over 6 shawarma wraps.
And then we start looking.
The Indian guy robbing just a convenience store. He's like, I'll take my shirt off. No, don't do it. How much do you want? He's just like this. Go on, hand over the money.
What about someone like getting waterboarded? But instead of being waterboarded, they just like block their mouth off so they have to breathe through their nose.
That's fun. But yeah, so you're at El Jannah. There's an Indian guy
with his shirt off, walking
off.
past. Me and my mates are just looking, and then we just hear yelling. And then we just see a group of teenagers just like walking to, like, they're all black. And then
Okay.
they were all just following him, and then they're yelling at him. And then the Indian guy walks back towards him, starts yelling at him. So I'm thinking he must have said something like, this is very random. Like, it was like 6 p.m. And so he walks back, and then he starts walking again. And then we're just talking like, wait, what the fuck's happening? So we quickly finish our food. We walk around. Actually, before we finished our food, I just got out and walked around to see what was happening. And these guys just had the Indian guy surrounded. And no one was hitting anyone, but they had him surrounded, and he was on the ground.
Shirt off still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I tell them what happened. And then we all walk around, and then we look there, and there's just a van, the door's closing, and it's driving away.
Dang.
Yeah.
They just took him. I wonder if he owed them money or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be very random, like an Indian guy owing teenagers money, you know? I feel like someone must have said something.
But
then,
kidnapping someone seems a bit
but
much.
we don't know if it was kidnapping. It might have just been another van, you know? It was just
okay.
like very
Yeah, yeah.
convenient that that's what happened. So it could have been
Right.
that.
They went into his convenience store and they were like, come on, man, this small bag of Doritos shouldn't be $7. Have you ever noticed how things are expensive at convenience stores?
Are the convenience stores around here Indian as well?
Are they what, sorry?
Indian owned?
Indian
Yeah.
owned.
A lot
Really?
of them.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think
It's
it's
like a
A lot of
universal
Asian
thing,
people
isn't
It
it?
is like, yeah, you'll literally go to like, where would you go? Like deep, dark Serbia.
I went to Barcelona. I got lost in Barcelona.
You go to a convenience store and you'll be like, hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Where do we go? What's
Literally,
going on?
that's what happened.
Really?
Because I got in. The story was I got stuck in the airport. My cousins, they missed their flight, so I was at the airport for like 7 hours. And then there's 2 sections of the airport, and they were in the other one. And my phone battery ran out. So then so I used the payphone. Then they're like, yeah, we're in front of the Target or whatever the shop was. And I'm like, I'm in front of that thing. And then they're like, no, you're not. So those 2 airports were identical.
Oh, and both had
Yeah.
a target.
So then they caught the bus, and I caught the bus at the same time. And then I'm on the other side, they're on the other side.
Dang.
And now I'm still not there. And then my phone dies then. So I'm like, on the payphone, on my phone or whatever, I told them, if my phone dies, I'm just going to catch a taxi to whatever the address is.
Yeah.
So that happened. I caught the taxi. The guy doesn't speak English. And I just give him the address and he texts me like as close as he could. And I start walking with my bag. I don't know where I'm walking to. I'm just winging it. I'm just walking towards where the noise is. And then there's a convenience store there. I go in there, Indian guy working there, Pakistani guy.
Great.
And I start talking to him. I was like, oh, you know, I'm lost. Do you have a phone charger or something? So I had to buy the phone charger first.
Oh, that's come on. Did you ever say help a brother out? Is there any sort of like camaraderie? Be like, come on.
But that's a brotherhood in Indian. You give them money. That would be the camaraderie. You know, you're helping my business.
Ah, true. So nothing's for free in India.
It'd be kind of insulting if I said, hey, can I use this?
Fair enough.
Can you help me out, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll help you out. You help me out.
Yeah. That's Indian. That's Indian culture.
Yeah.
So he lets me use the PowerPoint at least. So
Yeah.
I plug in and then he's talking to me, telling me, you know, oh, this is where we are. So the phone charges and I call them and then they find me. Luckily, it was very close.
Dang.
Yeah.
And
so
then
this
you
was
went
like
in and beat that guy up.
this was like a 12-hour day where I was just by myself, lost in Barcelona.
I do like the idea that, like, what is it? We haven't explored like 95% of the ocean. And then in, like, say, 500 years, we kind of start exploring more and more.
Is that true?
We
though?
find a convenience store and it's just an Indian guy there. It's like, hey, how you going? You want to use a charger? The water pressure's pretty crazy, so you're going to need one of these masks.
Is that true though? Like that we haven't discovered the ocean? Is it just that we haven't gone to every inch of the ocean and said, I've been here? Or is there like a whole
No,
section?
no, it's the deep ocean. The
Right.
deep ocean.
We can't
like-
physically go there.
Yeah, we can't.
Right.
physically-
And that's the 70%.
I think it's like 95 or 99. Something insane.
Damn.
Like how deep we can only go.
How deep did Steven Spielberg go?
I don't know.
Remember when he
What did
dived
do?
in?
Did he?
Yeah, he dived in.
Really?
Yeah, by himself. And he went deep as fuck. I think he set a world record.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I think it was Spielberg.
He was in like a little submarine or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, some.
Oh,
something
he
like
was
that.
in some sort of... I was going to say, I thought he just had like diving gear on. Or he's just like, okay, guys.
It was.
Let's see how
It
far
wasn't
we
like a
go.
full submarine. It was like a body thing. So
Imagine-
it was just him by himself, and then
Dang.
he's just getting dropped down.
Really?
Imagine
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg's on his laptop and he types in sub, and then his wife walks in. He's like, "What are you looking at?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm looking at submarines. I'm looking at submarines." And she's like, "Yeah, why are you looking at submarines?" And he's like, "I'm gonna see as far down as I can go."
I'm going to beat the world record. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, convenience stores are rough, man. I went into one just the other day. I went to Frango's first, dude. Actually, you know what sucks when you're like walking for a line and someone's right behind you, and they like almost do a slight jog. They know exactly where you're going. They do that slight jog just to get in front of you. So the guy does that, right? And then I'm looking at this guy. He's like, kind of like, he's a bad looking dude, but kind of like preppy looking, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
And he's just like hands in pockets, just like got this smarmy little smile, kind of looking around. Like he knows that I know that it was so obvious, bro. And then no acknowledgement of it. We get to the front of the line. He's rude as fuck to the person working there. Give me a blah, 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 blah.
I hate
And
the
I'm-
gimme. I hate the gimme.
I say the gimme.
You say the gimme?
Do you use manners?
We're going to go into this.
I say it nicely.
No, there's no nice way to say gimme. We're going to go into that
Or
later.
I'll say,
Don't wanna...
like if a waiter's there, I'll be like, oh, can I get a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, can I get it?
Can I
what
get
you
is
say.
fine. The gimme is insane.
Yeah, give me maybe I don't do much. Yeah,
Give
I
me
do
a-
can I get it.
I'll either say, I usually say, can I please have... Can I
Yeah.
please get a...
Yeah, 100%.
Always say the please. I'm always a please and thank you person.
Yeah,
I'm
never
direct.
not a please, not a thank you. This guy was like, da da da. So I came out of there like, I was mad. I should have just let it roll off me, but I was mad.
Yeah.
And then I went to a convenience store right after to get.
He does the same run again.
He runs up and buys the last box of extra small condoms. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm not extra small condoms because I don't use condoms. But if I did.
Hello.
Hello. So I'm already fuming at that, and then I get to the convenience store because I'm buying my girlfriend M&Ms, which I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it anyway. And I pick up the M&Ms. It was fucking like already expensive. It was like $5.50
Dang.
for like a
Convenience
small
store
packet of
M&Ms.
M&Ms, right?
That's insane.
I walk up to the counter and the guy scans it, and it came up. He was like, "Oh, that's $6." But there's nothing to show me that it was $6. He just says it was $6, and I was like, "Oh, oh man, let me just double check on the shelf. I think it said $5.50. This is petty as fuck. It's 50 cents, but I'm already.
No, still, it's principle.
So-
I hate that.
So I say that. He like nods, and I walk and have a look on the shelf.
He quickly
and I'm
runs in and changes the label.
Just a little joke.
Told you.
I go look on the shelf, $5.50. I come back to the counter, and I'm like, oh yeah, it does say $5.50.
He's got
man.
his shirt off. I don't even know.
I'm like, it does say $5.50, man. And he goes, oh no, it's a card surcharge. And I'm like,
Oh,
why
you
the
could have
fuck
said
did
that
you just let me
first.
go back to the shelf?
Yeah. Dang.
It's ridiculous. And then I'm driving home, and I'm pissed off about a guy that got served before me and then paying an extra 50 cents. Isn't that crazy? That's the kind of shit that ends up giving people a heart attack. It's just those little things.
Yeah,
Of
And
course, yeah.
And that's what like kind of makes you start being rude to say convenience stores, because sometimes you overplay it. You're like, oh, can I please get this? Can I get? And they don't say anything. They're just like,
You kill him with kindness, though. You kill him with kindness. I don't care if they're the rudest person in
Mm.
the world. I'm going to kill him with kindness.
but sometimes when I already know, like I've been there before, I'm like, oh, this guy's not going to talk to me. I'll just be like, oh, this, and I get it.
Oh, I guess you can do the silent thing.
Mm.
If they're looking the other direction, you can potentially do the silent thing.
Yeah,
I don't like the gimme.
yeah.
That's the stuff that is kind of offensive.
Mm.
The silent thing's fine. Be like, oh, if I'm just getting petrol, say, oh, number 5.
Yeah, you just say that
Oh,
and get the fuck
and
out.
this, and this. Tap, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'll just hit him with a hey man. That's the first
They don't want to hear the hey man.
You Bart Simpson.
They say, hey man.
$5.50. Ay caramba.
Do you know what I find? I find the hey man patronizing. I find hey man. I find man is a bit patronizing.
It can be.
Buddy is
Yeah.
patronising.
Buddy is, and I feel man is
Buddy.
as well. If I get a text from someone saying, "Hey man, can you do this?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
it almost sounds formal.
I know, I can't stand it.
What the hell?
Do the bro.
What do you do? Oh,
do the bro. The bro is nice.
I don't hit anyone with bro.
I don't hit him with bro.
I call my bros bro. I'm not gonna lie about that. If I
I'll-
see someone,
I'll go
I'll
brah.
say, "Hey man."
You do the bra to your friends.
Yeah.
You the bro is, I think, quite formal.
It's easy to
In a
tell.
nice way.
Brother?
But
Brother's good. Brother's very nice.
Hey, brother.
Yeah. Hey, brother.
yeah, I'm gonna hit
That's
him
a
with a
great one.
man because it's very easy to tell if someone's a man just by looking at them. You know what I mean?
There was a time in
It's
like
very easy to tell.
there's like a little time period, like in Western Sydney, where people were like, "Hey, cousin," they'd say cousin.
Did you
I
ever?
think you could still
were
do
you
that,
ever like,
though.
maybe this guy knows something I don't?
Is he my cousin?
And I don't know why I'm all attracted to when women call me that. I don't know why I get erect when women call me cousin.
Would it be weird if you like there was an older lady and we're like, "Hey, mum, can I just get a?"
That's apparently...
That might be a thing somewhere.
I think that's
Mummy.
a thing in Asian culture. Because I know my girlfriend does the mum is... She calls every Asian woman mum. Or no, it's not mum, it's auntie.
Auntie, yeah.
Yeah,
Auntie's
Oh,
cousin.
yeah,
it is
yeah,
auntie.
yeah.
I'm getting it confused. But the auntie thing.
That's
And it
normal,
is.
yeah.
I feel it's a bit strange to call
You don't
someone...
do it? If it's an older lady, like, "Oh, thanks, auntie."
Thanks, auntie. I don't think I would ever do that.
Really?
You know what would be a
Yeah.
fun thing to try out? Just shaking people's hands, like after you do a transaction or something like that. Like he's like, "Oh yeah, $5.50," and I'm like, "Ah."
Bro,
He's like $6. I'm like, "Ah, all right, no worries, man."
My
I
brother-
pay and then I shake their hand.
my brother made me do that once.
It's a joke. It's
No.
like a public experiment.
And you're like, "Bro, that's not your hand."
So it was like before. It was like just when I turned 14, like 9 months when you can get a job.
Yeah.
And so he told me to go to the Macca's. Because I was applying online, not getting anywhere. He's like, "You got to go
Oh,
in
fair
and do
enough.
it."
Yeah.
So he goes, "Go into the Macca's and ask him for a job, and then shake his hand. Make sure you shake his hand." So I was like,
I respect that. That's what I was told.
so I went up there. I was like, "Oh, is the manager here?" The manager comes up. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm just wondering if you guys got any jobs available and this, that." It's like, "Oh, yeah, we do everything online. Just go apply online."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then I went to shake his hand. And I'm like 14 years old, 14-year-old shaking your hand. And he just looked at me like, "Oh."
My boss.
That's so pure. There's something so beautiful about that because it is the shake. Make sure you shake his hand and give eye contact when you go to the
Yeah.
job.
That's like a very old school thing,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
My boss coughed in his hand the other day, and then like 2 minutes later, we said goodbye and shook hands.
2 minutes is enough time to let the cough go.
You
Though.
shake hands with your boss?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna kiss him.
Yeah, but that's like at work, like no one shakes hands at
I'm
work.
not gonna kiss him. He's married.
Like imagine every day I finish work, I just went up to everyone, "Hey, all right, good seeing you today. Good
I
seeing
would,
you
I would do
Oh
that.
no,
today."
I'll do that to friends.
Not at an office.
no,
You're
no,
like,
I don't work in an office.
In an office, that'd be super weird. Because
See ya.
everyone just says, "All right, bye, guys."
Jackson works in a jerk-off booth.
I might try and start shaking people's hands more often.
The shaking hand things is... I want to get petrol literally after this, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's number 5. That, and I'll be like...
It'll be like the security window. You're
I
just
would
like,
be. Yeah, you have to go. You have to go up and down. Yeah. Thanks, mate. I'll see you later. You like give it the tap. Like,
you
see you later.
what? Like if you go to a service station and get like a bottle of Gatorade and like a thing of chips or something, they put it in the tray and then slide it out to you, and then you pay. At this specific one that I go
I've seen
to.
this. I have one that used to do that as well.
And I think about it. I'm like, I picked this up.
Yeah.
And then I say, I'm not paying.
you can go.
Yeah, you just take it.
Like you just lift it up, you take one step back, and you go, "What now? What are you gonna do?"
Nothing.
They'll try to call the police. There'll be cameras everywhere.
Or a
You'll
chocolate
have
bar?
Yeah.
Is that an emergency?
Yeah. What they'll do, they'll literally just have.
But
a
the cops
photo of
won't
you.
come. They'll be like, what happened? Oh, they stole a chocolate bar. I'm like, yeah, we'll be there. No one's coming.
Oh, that's true.
They barely come for robberies.
Yeah, we're in
Is
the
that
western
true?
suburbs. We live in nice areas.
They
Riv.
take a
I don't know
while.
what you're talking
Because the
about.
robbery's already happened. They're just there to finish up the, like, write down the report.
Riv's like,
so they're not
yeah,
going
there's
to
a
speed there.
There's a robbery happening. He's like, yeah, buddy, there's thousands of robberies happening. We live in Lee Park. Park Lee. No, Park Lee.
Is there a better system? Do you know what I mean? Is there something? Could we just have a cop on every block, or do we have one neighbor on the street that has a gun?
So watchdogs.
Neighborhood
Yeah.
watch. How do the neighborhood watch? I always see them. I sometimes see them like driving around where I used to live.
They got 'em in
and
my
I'll
area,
slow
yeah.
down. Oh,
They
neighborhood
don't do
watch.
shit.
Really?
What are they going to do?
Would you speed in front of a neighborhood watch person?
Yeah, they're not going to.
Yeah, they're not going to do
They're
anything.
just there, like, in case something goes down, like, because there's like shared pool areas, like clubhouses near my house. So if anyone
Right.
sneaks in, they just go in and they check, make sure no one's fucking around there, and get out. That's like all their job is.
Right. Something about like there's this guy in a car like wearing a Rolex. Be like, I'm the neighborhood watch. Everyone. Sorry. That was very funny. That was very funny.
My,
I saw that one for a while.
My dad used to work at a convenience store and he got
Oh,
robbed.
did he? Your dad used to work at a convenience store, everyone. Isn't that surprising?
And he got robbed at gunpoint.
Really?
It was on the news and everything, yeah.
Dang. It's like local taxi driver. I mean, convenience store. I mean, elephant salesman. I mean, there's something funny there. There's something funny going on there. So your dad used to work at a convenience store.
Yeah, when he first came to Australia.
Yeah. And then what happened? He got robbed.
Yeah, he got robbed.
At
They got-
gunpoint?
Yeah, held up.
What?
And he just gave him all the money.
Really?
Yeah.
Did the guy say, "Give me all your money"?
I don't know.
That's intense. Where was he living?
Blacktown, I'm pretty sure.
Blacktown?
Yeah.
He said, "Shake my hand."
One of my aunties got robbed. She had like a grocery store. This is in St. Mary's or Rudy Hill or something. A guy came in with a needle full of blood in it. And he was like, "Give me everything in the register, or I'm
I love it.
pricking you with this."
That's a great way to do it.
That's a wild way.
That's
that's
crazy.
scarier than a gun.
That's way scary. But like, I have AIDS in here. Do
Or
you
it
want
could just be tomato sauce. So it's like, oh,
yeah, of
you're like
course.
getting screwed because it might be nothing, but then
Yeah.
you don't want to risk it.
Dang.
Do you really want to take the chance, buddy?
Yeah, it's just such a sucky way to get robbed because it might be nothing at all.
Dang. Something about it being funny. That's a sucky way, and there's like blood. There's something funny there.
And you think he gets the needle ready before he does it? He's like,
Just listen to this.
I can't find a vein.
I'm out.
Here's a band-aid.
When a lolly, I've got some chubba chups. What do you want, cola or the strawberry and cream?
Yeah. Afterwards, he gets the money or whatever, and he's like, "All right, do you have a needle disposal unit in here?" It was always my fear as a kid for some reason to step on a needle. I don't know if my dad said it to me one
I
time.
was told
Yeah.
non-stop. I used to live like at Terrigal, and it was near Terrigal, and my mum would always say, "You can't go to Terrigal Beach; it's just full of used needles. You will die if you go
Yeah.
to Terrigal Beach. You're going to step on it."
And every time anytime I did see one, I was like, oh, stay away.
I love that. Like we have this story, and Riv actually saw them all the time. Dang, you actually saw needles at the beach.
Yeah, not at the beach, like Blacktown area.
Dang.
It was very rare. It probably happened like twice where I saw it.
Okay. We're backtracking nicely now. But yeah, there is something terrifying about stepping on a needle.
Yeah, it's so gross.
It is. It's invasive.
Yeah,
It's
but
very
just like,
invasive.
it could be anything, you know?
Yeah. What if it is just like a little bit of H? You just get a nice little buzz. Do you know what I mean?
One time in like primary school, we saw a condom on the street. one of the boys picked it up and started chucking it at people.
Actually, I was going to say that. I feel like you used to see condoms everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I haven't seen a condom.
I got in a relationship, so
Hello.
Do they even sell them anymore?
Do they even sell condoms anymore? Well, they
Don't
need
know.
to in America.
do they still
because-
sell female condoms in the tent?
What are female condoms?
It's like a little.
What's that? Condoms that complain and you want to go shopping. Condom that you wear when you want to go shopping.
It's like a little little plastic blanket thing, isn't it? You just put it on.
Dang. I've never heard of. Oh, what is that called? I think
There's a word for
familiar.
it, but it is a thing. But
Really?
where do you even buy one?
Yeah, I almost want to buy that one. It was like a funny bit, or to kind of mix things up. Could be interesting. Could be a fun little one. Female condoms. What are they called?
What about a chick with a female condom and halfway through you're like, or like at the end you're like finished, and then she's like, oh, it fell off halfway.
How would you feel if you're on a first date with a girl?
Yeah.
And she's perfect. She's like, you think she might be the one.
But
and
she's Indian.
And then,
You get out of there.
And then you find out she's a woman.
and then you guys start hooking up. And she's like, oh, do you have any condoms? And the guy's like, no. And then she pulls out 2 from a bag.
I think that'd be fine.
Yeah,
she's
that's
being
fine.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like. I think that's great. I think women should bring them.
But I feel like there'd be like conservative guys.
You know what'd be worse?
You know,
if she
they'll
pulled
be
out
like, what the
7
hell?
and they all had the name of the day written on them.
Like those vitamin things, your daily vitamin dispenser thing.
Dang, it is funny. Women being sexually active. Is it wrong? Women kind of being out there, going to town.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a cultural thing, right? Where some girls will be embarrassed to carry one, but you should carry one.
Yes, of course. Because if you are assaulted by a man, you'd be like, at least put one on. I don't know. There's something going on there.
I was we were talking last night about dang, what were we just talking about?
I was thinking. I'm trying to think.
We were talking about getting walked in on. No, what were we literally just talking about?
Well, we're talking about condoms,
Needles on the ground.
women carrying them, and women being empowered.
That's right. Yeah. What's your getting? You're an adult. You've got a daughter, and you walk in on a dude with her.
Oh, this is a nice one. This is a real
You
nice
gotta
one.
beat the guy up.
Because that's what I was saying.
100%
I was like,
gotta beat the shit out of
I'll
them.
grab a 15-year-old by their ankles and slam them into a
Happened
fucking
that
wall.
happened to my mate. He was hooking up. He was having sex with his girlfriend. The dad came home, Serbian dad, walked in there, started choking him while he's naked.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And then the guy's just like coming. Finds out that's his
Just
fetish.
everywhere.
So, and the dad says to the daughter, "You're not doing it right." yeah. It's
Dang, he got choked.
He got choked the
Got
fuck out.
choked out. I would be pretty cool. I would just
No.
I would just quickly close the door and then listen and jerk off. That's what I would do. I'd be cool about it.
No, you wouldn't. Do you have sisters?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be like, okay, women. She's obviously
And
consenting.
what if she's like 15, 16?
She's consenting.
You got to do something.
She's asking for it.
yeah, but it's in your house.
I know the way she's dressing. I know what she's wearing.
This is the argument. It's like, do you want her to just be deprived of that?
Yeah, of course.
It's not about depriving. It's just the respect of doing it in the house.
No, you got to do it in the
So
house.
you
I'd
want
rather be
you
in
want
the
your
house
daughter
than in
getting
the
it
park.
elsewhere.
Yeah, she's gonna be getting into the park.
Yeah, it's kind of disrespectful. You're doing
It's
it.
not disrespectful.
It's like
doing drugs.
Like,
If they're
who am,
gonna-
like, am I nothing to you? You think this
No.
guy's gonna fuck in my house?
Yeah, he is, because I don't want him to be doing it in like some
Look,
car
at
park.
the very least, he's getting smacked in the face.
By the time you're married and have kids, and then there's like someone doing that, and you're like, the only person coming in this house is me
100%.
once a month.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's kind of nice.
There is nothing wrong with it, but the disrespect.
I don't know if it's disrespectful. I think it's almost respectful that my daughter would do it in my home because she felt comfortable enough.
Dude, I just think your daughter's hot.
But
I just want to lay seed
It's a
in your
beautiful
daughter.
act.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Riv. I'm sorry that
Look, I'm not saying I'm 100% right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
In my mind, I'd be like, I might have to smack.
you're gonna
someone.
smack that boy. You're gonna
Yeah.
smack a young naked boy.
And if she had an older brother, so if you had a son as well, he would be thinking exactly the same thing. Be like, fuck that guy.
Oh yeah. He's getting beat up.
Yeah, I'd probably give my son like fucking a knife and just send him in there.
Give him a knife.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean if he's going over to a girl's house?
No. If your son is at home, you're like, I can't beat up this 16-year-old kid.
Right.
But I'd be like, hey, do you know what they're doing in there? Can you go check on him?
Yeah.
And then just be like, take this and give him a knife and let him walk in there and take care of it. And then come back out and sit on the couch and just be like, all right, good job.
Or the brother's just like, yes.
Yeah. What if the brother starts like tag teaming?
Well, then I would have trained him well. Yeah, you don't want to... It's so tricky because, yeah, it's like you don't want them...
And you could be so
deprived of
funny.
that.
You could be
Yeah.
like, I got next.
But you don't have that physiological reaction.
I got next.
one of my brother's mates, he was hooking up with a girl at their house while the parents were home.
Yeah.
And the parents 100% knew. So they finished having sex. They came downstairs. The girl's dad shook the guy's hand.
You did a good job. I've never... She's been with a few guys. No one's ever pleasured her like that,
I
buddy.
was just like, wow.
As the,
Three
as,
times in one night. You are something. You're something
as the
special.
kid's walking out, he's like, yo, Pops, smell that hand.
Yep. You went deep.
Yep,
went
that's
deep.
my girl.
That's like...
Yeah, I feel like it's a physiological thing where you don't want that happening. It pisses you off physically.
The shaking hand, though. So this is a father who's kind of like happy about it.
All right, this is you.
Yeah, I
So
might
this
be
is-
that father. I might be the one shaking the kid's hand. I'll be like, thank you for not doing it somewhere else. Do it here. Put some tunes
Yeah, there's a
on.
point there.
Yeah.
Better than doing it in the car or fucking at a park or some shit.
Buddy, what you do? Here's a Spotify playlist. Play some of the songs she likes. I made a little playlist for you. She likes these ones.
I'm raising my daughter Islamic.
Put on a little bit of Jeremiah. What about Sonny Bill Williams making his wife's now wearing the hijab? She's now hijab.
She's now wearing. I thought
Yeah,
that
she's
would've
now
been-
wearing it.
Is she Arab or is she? What is she?
I don't know. I don't know. But
She's
it's fun.
someone's daughter. That's what she is.
But I saw that. That was an interesting thing, and he's kind of like praising her for it.
That's. I didn't see anything wrong with that.
He said it's the greatest day of his life. And he has like 3 kids or something. He's like, his wife covering up as the greatest day of his life. There's something kind of funny. He's like won multiple NRL grand finals.
Yeah.
But his wife putting a cloth over her head is the happiest day. I don't understand why.
He actually said that.
Yeah, he actually said that on Instagram. There's like a whole Instagram post
Greatest
about
day of my life.
Yeah.
It's something so interesting about we want to here kind of acknowledge or we kind of want to disregard that women are physically attractive
Yeah.
and that men having status and shit is attractive. We kind of want to even it out.
It's awkward.
somehow.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like a woman knows they're attractive and will use that for their benefit.
Yeah.
Which they should because it's just a tool in the toolkit. Just like a guy has certain tools that they can use.
I feel like guys get the same kind of benefits. Like
Yeah,
you
but
look
you're
at-
attractive, Riv.
no, but you
We
look
get
at
it.
look
We
at
get
people
it.
like
Okay.
look at people that make decent money.
Yeah.
They're kind of handsome.
No.
There's not a lot of fucking gremlins that are on at the top.
There's a million.
There's a lot of gremlins. If you look at the billionaire list, they're all pretty terrifying.
Oh, billionaires another story because these guys have
billionaires.
done. But look
Okay.
at like bankers or look at
You're right.
finance
If
guys
you
or
go to
something.
the CBD, they're all pretty attractive.
Yeah, good-looking
guys. They're perfect.
people.
They're all like
Yeah.
6'5". They all look like Superman.
Yeah,
And they're all.
and it's like most CEOs are like over 6 foot or something. That's like a stat. Yeah.
It's an interesting one. It's kind of confronting when you do go to the business district of any city and you just see the cream of the crop. And if you're going to be a suit, you're going to kind of tick a few other boxes at the same time.
What do you mean by that?
I find, most people who are successful, most people who do have solid careers, they all kind of... There's no real puny guys in suits. They're all kind of like filling them out. They're all pretty tall. They all look pretty good.
Chunky.
Yeah, they look like
Yeah.
it suits them.
And
There's no ill-fitting
You're more
suit
likely to
wearers.
get a job as well. Like I would say, if 2 people same everything, but one's more handsome, I feel like the handsome guy's getting the job.
Because you want to look at the guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm hiring, I'm going to probably hire Riv.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's a face I can look at every
Yeah.
day.
Well, I did make this argument. Amy and I were speaking about it when if there was like a man and a woman with all the same qualifications and say it was like a heterosexual male boss, they might be more inclined to hire the woman.
Or I think the man.
But hear me out. They
Yeah.
might be more inclined to hire the woman because they're like, okay, they're better to look at when they're around as well as all these other things. But this guy, maybe we've got more common interests or something like that.
Yes.
So it really comes down to the person.
Like my first job I got, it was a graduate position. I had barely had experience. I had like shit grades in uni. And then when I finally got to ask the guy, like, what made you choose me? And I'm like, how many people did you interview? Like, oh, I interviewed like 20 people. I'm like, so why'd you pick me? He's like, oh, you look like someone I could have a beer with.
Wow.
And that's why I got hired.
Gosh.
And then he touched my thigh.
He's like, I like to have my beers naked.
have this beer with me. Drop something in the beer.
I like to have my beers with my undies off. I keep the shorts on, but I ain't wearing undies underneath.
What is he, African?
Yeah, so it is an interesting one because then it's like in Islamic countries, they're getting rid of that.
I get a bit kissy when I drink. Oh, watch out.
Why are you showing me this photo of you naked? And it's like, well, I thought, is this not what having beers is? I had my first beer with my dad. Apparently, you got to be 18 to have beers, not in my household.
That's so funny. Just a guy showing a photo of himself naked. It's just beers, right? Oh, dang. That's great. That's really great.
How good would it be to just carry around naked photos of yourself? Oops.
Well, I was doing that earlier. It's so funny. Just showing people naked photos. Because it's not something you see, like, out
Yeah.
in the wild like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you just spring that upon someone.
What about, like, you know how you do, like, professional glamour photo shoots and whatever? What if you just had, like, massive naked photos of you in your house? Just, like...
Yeah, just like a tasteful kind of, like, Renaissance thing. It's just
Yeah.
like your penis out.
I think you and I should get maybe, like, a nice painting, like a nice Sausage Boys painting we can hang up.
That'd be good with our penises out.
Yeah.
That could be very nice. Just like a real
And
Renaissance
your penises
style.
are just sausages. Like you
That
put
actually is a bit
sausages there.
nice. That is a bit nice.
Like, one of us is, like, laying on a couch and the other one's, like, eating a grape or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that'd be really nice.
That'll cost a lot of money though.
What about just like us at a convenience store? Like we're lining up. I'm on my way out, and you go in to give the guy a handshake.
Yeah,
It's a nice image.
It is a nice image.
So, yeah, I went to Muay Thai the other night and Junie came along.
We're nice. Okay.
And he was a professional fighter or like semi-professional. Go on.
Yeah, he was a professional fighter, but yeah, semi. That is funny. I like that one. That's a bit of an alley-oop there.
Yeah, so he came and we were holding the pads for each other. So I held it first. No, sorry, he held it first. And he was like giving me pointers and shit. I was like, this is fucking sick. I've only been doing it for like a month.
Yeah.
So I'm shit.
Using pads.
Okay,
Go
here we
on.
go, Riv. Go on. I've got my finger ready.
That was it.
You call it saying Jackson's a woman and he's on his period.
And he's been using pads for a couple of months.
You always like that one as well.
So, yeah, so he's holding the pads for me. I'm like kicking and shit. And he's like, you can go harder than that. You can go harder than that.
Yeah.
And give me pointers. So that was sick. And then I'm holding it for him. It was fucking terrifying.
Or watching him punch and kick.
It was, yes. Like, absolutely
He's
terrifying.
professional as well.
I remember
So-
one time like this in my life when I went surfing with my friend's family when I was a kid. And they surfed all the time. I've been surfing like a little bit. I was a
And I
good
got
swimmer
caught
and
with their
shit.
daughter. With a dad
Yeah, surfing's when you show someone a naked picture of yourself, right? So, yeah, so we went out and they were like, oh, yeah, you're fine with these waves, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is fine. And then you get out there and the waves are like bigger than
Oh,
you've ever
man.
seen.
Yeah.
But you can't be like, holy shit, I'm about to drown. There's
Yes.
something about that situation, the adrenaline and shit in there. So I'm in there with Junie, just fucking like, this is terrifying. Like you almost leave your body a little bit, right?
Goodness.
And
Is it physically hurting?
No.
well, there was one part where it's like 30 seconds and it's just all body shots to like a big belt. Looks like a, what do you call it? Like a WWE type
Yeah.
belt, but
Yeah,
it's
those
padded.
hurt a bit.
And he's like just right, left. And the noise he's making when really good fighters like, or have like a noise when they hit. And he's going, shut. Every hit that he's doing. And I'm feeling all of it. And he's like, just breathe out, bro. Breathe out. So I'm like, and then the coaches kind of saw,
Yeah.
oh, actually, so there's a ring in the middle of the thing. You normally train on the padding at the bottom, but if it's all filled up, you jump into the ring.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, I'm here with my friend who's like a really good fighter. We get into the
Yes.
ring together, holding the pads and shit. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then they see me like dying up there, so they swap me out with this other dude.
Oh, they swap you out. That's
So I go from being
horrible.
in the ring with my mate, I'm like, this is awesome, to being on the ground with this woman. It was like her first lesson.
talking about her day.
And I'm like looking at Junie, and anytime I turn around and see him like kicking this thing or whatever, it's fucking terrifying, dude.
How's the other dude coping, holding for him?
Yeah, he was good. He looked
he
like
was
he'd
good.
done it a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit was so scary, man.
Dang.
You would have seen, because you were doing Muay Thai before as well, right? Were you seeing shit like that?
Yeah, you get paired up by like a big Samoan guy, and he's like, and he just looks like a big fat guy, but then they start kicking, and you're
Yeah.
just like, fuck.
Dang. I did it when I had like we were doing certain types of kicks. When I was doing like what is it, Wing Chun, certain kicks to the knees. And there's like when I had like a pretty big guy, I would actually feel like my legs about to like cave in. And I would have to just stop. I'd be like, sorry, we're gonna have to do something else.
Yeah, and
This
it
is gonna
depends
be a
on the
bit too
pads as well.
intense.
Like if you get like the really nice expensive ones, some gyms have them. You don't feel shit. They can kick as hard as they want.
Yes, and you get the bad ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can accidentally get the bad
Yeah,
pad.
yeah, that's
and you
where
know
it
this is
fucks up.
gonna
Yeah.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Some-
get those pads that are like fucking worn out.
Oh
and it's
my
like it's doing
gosh.
nothing for you.
Yeah, it's the last one. You were like having a conversation. You run over to grab the pad, and it's like, oh dang, there's
Yeah.
only this one left.
You don't realize how fucked up you could get. Like any of those shots, like to the. I mean, the belt's kind of at your stomach level, but if you're copping that to the ribs, it'd break both sides of your ribs. Just
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
of course. Dang.
If you couldn't block it and shit.
I always wonder if I could actually pull it off in a real fight. Because you do it on the pads, you're like, all right, this is easy. But then you do it in real, you just forget. And you just like, in dreams when you can't hit properly, you're just like,
100%.
that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's
And
what
you're
I
just
think.
gonna
That's what they
embarrass
always
yourself.
say. That's what they always say. People who have like maybe black belts will lose street fights to dudes who are just street and have never done any professional fighting, but they're just tough.
I mean, yeah, I've been doing Muay Thai, but for that exact reason, that's why I always carry around a needle full of blood.
That's good. But yeah, it's true. Like it doesn't really mean too much. You have to be tough at the end of the day.
Yeah.
To actually win in a street fight,
Yeah.
which is how do you think you go in a street fight?
I would not go well.
would
I'd be
go
so
well.
scared.
You'd be
Yeah, I always watch them as well, and you see cunts like picking them up and slamming them to the ground. It's like someone's head hitting concrete. You're just like, oh my god.
What do you mean? You watch them online or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lives in Barclay. He's watching them as he's walking anywhere. Yeah, there's one going on
someone's
there.
getting done.
Oh, wait, is someone getting what?
Someone's getting done by the
Oh,
popo.
serious? Let me have a
It's a
look.
pucker.
Oh, dang. Yeah, there is a dude getting pulled over.
Yeah, but it's terrifying.
I
And
wish
then
I was getting pulled over.
I wish I was. I don't. Why do you wish you were getting pulled over?
don't do him like that.
I'm
man.
gonna do him like that. Why?
Just hit him with one of these. I can't even hear that noise anymore. Ah.
Wow. After all that's happened, I get that noise.
You get that one. What do you mean all this happened? Come on, man.
Yeah. It's scary realizing how much people could fuck you up more than you even could imagine.
Yeah. That's like my biggest fear getting in a street fight.
Yeah.
Not only would you
same.
get bashed, but you might get embarrassed. Someone might see you. There's just like all this shit going on. It's like you don't want to be a part of that.
You might die.
Yeah, you could die.
I
easily.
think that's. I don't know. That's just me. I
you know,
always
but it's
think I'm
also
gonna
the
die.
embarrassment. Like, imagine you just in a punch on, like, someone you know just happens to walk past. Your boss happens to walk past, and he sees you in a street fight.
He goes, I'm never having a beer with that guy. You know what you need to do? You need to learn how to like square up, and then as soon as they throw the first punch, do a complete 180 so they hit you in the back of the head. Coward punch. It's fucking 25 to life for that motherfucker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Take the coward punch.
Take the coward punch. Just risk it that no one saw.
Take the coward punch.
I would just run.
Do you get money?
You might be dead though.
You think you would run
I would run.
if you were in a street fight scenario?
If it was just me 1-on-1,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out of there.
You're
if
running.
it's someone else involved, one of my mates, you got to do something.
Dang, you gotta do something.
Yeah, I got in my last punch on. Hopefully, my last one is I dislocated this like 50-year-old guy's shoulder. It was
Goodness
at like
gracious.
indoor soccer, and leading up to that, there was a fight that happened.
Yeah.
And my mate invited all the boys and be like, "Oh, I need help, in case something goes down." Invited everyone except me because he thought I wouldn't do anything. So
So
I'm amped up. I'm like, wow, this is what you think of me?
So you heard about this fight. You heard about getting the call, and
Yeah,
you didn't.
because
Get
I hang out with him every day. So I'm like, and then it
I
was
was
like a
prove
running.
myself and hurt this old
Yeah,
man.
it was like a running joke. They're like, "Of course we didn't call you. What are you gonna do?" I'm like, all right.
Man.
So it would come up and like, "Trust me, next time it happens, just watch." And so indoor soccer, and we're versing like it was mixed things, so guys and girls, and then we're
And
versing
you're like,
this other
hell
team.
yes. I get to beat up some girls as well. Hell yes.
And we're versing like a family teams, like
I can beat
dad,
up. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
two daughters, and I think it was the son or something.
Dang.
And the game's going. The son on the other team's very aggressive. He's like tackling. He's doing a bit too much, and we're telling him just like relax, but he keeps going. And then he does a really hard tackle to one of my mates, and then my mate just grabs him by the shirt and be like, "Oh,
Quickly, ages. What are we talking about here? How old's the son? How old's your mate?
my mate's my age, so this would have been 24 at the time. The son's probably 21, something like that.
Oh, okay, so pretty old.
Yeah. And then they start, scuffling or whatever, and then the two daughters just like yelling, like, "Stop, stop!" And then my other mate goes in there, tries to grab the other guy and split him up.
Yeah.
And then the dad gets my mate that tried to split it up like by the neck, like from the back, and he's either trying to hold him back or he's trying to do something. I don't know what was happening. And I'm on the other side of the field, and I'm watching when the scuffles happen. I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to
This
get
is going
involved."
through your head.
Yeah.
You're thinking about the flashback of not getting invited.
At first, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to get involved, and then this happens. Like, if I don't do this, this will be a running joke forever.
Yeah,
it won't even
yeah.
be a joke; it'll be insulting.
Yeah.
So I see it. I see him grab my mate and the dad, and I start legging it from the other side of the field. It was like took a while to get across. So I'm running as fast as I can, and I jump and go to punch.
Punch.
Yeah.
Dang.
And as I'm about to punch, I'm like, "Oh, this could be a really hard punch." So I slow it down, but as I'm slowing it down, it goes down. So I punch him right on the top of the shoulder, and his whole shoulder just like goes down, like the biggest dislocation you've ever seen. And then no one really saw it was me. And then the two daughters are like, "You dislocated my dad's shoulder. Who was it?" And they're going off. And then
my gosh.
the referee's trying to break it up, and then that
I
was it.
dislocate girls' shoulders too.
It's so funny to think the referee's like, "I didn't sign up for this."
Oh, he was like that, like because it's like a mixed indoor comp, like nothing happens, it's guys and girls, like friendly, and yeah, that happened.
That's
Sounds like
insane.
Yeah.
You're that powerful. I like this a nice humble brag there. You have enough power in your fist to dislocate someone's shoulder.
Yeah, because this was the time when I was doing Muay Thai as well, so I
Oh,
knew
so
how to
you
get
knew
that
what to
punch in.
do.
I
Oh
knew
my
exactly what to
God.
do.
What did he do afterwards? Did he scream?
Did he go, "Hey, you dislocated my shoulder"?
The funny thing is, no one other than my mate saw me do it because there was so much shit going on.
Also because it didn't happen.
And then after that, everyone was like, "Oh shit, you did it!" I'm like, "I told you I was going to do it." I'm like, "Yeah, you did say it."
you didn't
Oh,
get
it's
in
such a good
trouble?
feeling.
That is a nice feeling. Especially
Oh.
power. Did you hurt your fist at all?
No,
That's even better. That's it. You can literally like go
Yeah.
on for the rest of
it
your
was
day.
like perfect redemption. I didn't get in trouble. I didn't injure someone's too bad. It was like a shoulder punch. It was a shoulder punch or whatever.
I had sex with two daughters.
You're our dad now.
Yeah.
Dang,
Then after that, I got the respect.
did they start respecting you? They called you old.
Yeah, after that,
shoulder-
like, we were talking about right after we were talking about the fun, like, "Yeah, you should invite me." Like, "Yeah, fuck, we should have invited you." Like, and I probably wouldn't have done anything anyway. I would have stayed out so much out of that fight.
No, you needed some. That was the oxygen to your fire.
Yeah,
Have you had a fight since?
no,
No. That was the only fight you've really been in.
pretty much.
Gosh, that's a nice record.
And it was just a one and done.
Yeah, just one hit, boom, TKO.
Man, that's the worst thing about getting in a fight because you like, what is it? Ruin your knuckles and stuff like that. Bruise your knuckles, break some bones potentially. Like a good fight, no one leaves.
Yeah, my brother and his mates used to get him punch-ons all the time.
Really?
Once came home with like a full black eye, like not a black eye, like a swollen eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. What's your brother's a little bit more hood?
Yeah.
I don't know too much.
He's a
about your
bit more
brother.
Blacktown, you know.
Really?
Is he older?
Like he's
Is he older?
yeah, like he's proper Blacktown.
How much older?
He's 2.5 years older.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's the bad boy of the family.
Yeah. So he had like a motorbike, that kind of thing.
Ooh. Did he are you close with him?
Yeah.
Or he thinks you're a bit of a loser?
He probably thinks so.
thinks
In
you're
terms
a
of that kind of world,
Yeah,
I'm definitely
that word.
nothing.
Okay. That's interesting to know. Because I didn't even know you had a brother.
Yeah.
That's kind of changed everything. That's why
Does
you're
it?
so cool, because you have like a lot to prove still.
Yeah, always have something to prove.
You've always got something to
got-
prove as a younger brother.
I got roasted when I was 7 years old for not getting in a punch on by my mum. 7 years old, you know how young 7 is? So we're walking home, and then these two kids start messing with me and my brother as we're walking home. And then my brother just hits one of them. And then both of them start punching on. And then we're walking down a hill. I'm on one side of the street, they're on the other. And we're walking home. They're walking, fighting. So my brother's taking both of these guys on as we're walking down. And then when we get home, my brother's like, "You seriously didn't do anything? You just kept walking?" And my mum's like, "What happened?" Like there was fight, and she's like, "If there's a fight, you should have done something." And
Of
I'm
course,
like,
it's your brother.
I'm 7 years old.
It's your brother. It's your brother, though. Dang this. You've got a long history of backing out of fights.
Yeah, and the thing is, like at home, like me and my brother will fight, and I'll be like, all vicious and that. But
Right.
in the street, I didn't do shit.
No dudes were fighting in my school. It's all chick fights.
Chick
Damn.
fights.
Yeah.
I didn't know you went to porn high school. I didn't even know you went to heaven high school.
There was heaps of fights at our school.
Dang, I like a good girl fight. Because clothes come
Fun
off.
to watch.
Yeah, nice and fun to watch.
Clothes come off. My pants. Yeah, there was. I did see something that I wanted to get into.
Oh, actually, yeah. I even want to get into something after that. We can do the little video that I wanted to touch on last week, on Monday.
Oh
Yeah, it could be a little fun one. I completely forgot about
Have
that.
you guys ever been in fights?
Have I ever been in a fight?
No, I had one. I think I told it on pod before. It was me and my mate, and I don't know why it was like a school assembly, like under a cola. So it was like at the end of recess or whatever. So my whole year group was there. Everyone was kind of like getting in class lines or whatever, but kind of still moseying around, standing up. And me and my friend, we just started kind of mouthing off to each other. And this is one of my best friends. We just kind of started talking shit to each other to the point where we were pushing each other a little bit. And there was a circle of people that kind of got around us, like literally the whole year.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, you do something. And then we hugged.
Oh no!
And then we'll
Rip just comes in.
Someone's shoulder's going. I don't care who it is. How did the hug come about? What did you guys say to each other that you hugged?
I don't know, like I don't want to do this, neither do I.
So a hug?
A hug, I hate a hug.
How
That
does a
would
hug
ruin my
come-
day.
It was so nice though, because it's like we didn't let the pressure of everyone getting to us, but it was the worst thing in the world because then there was like people around us going like,
That was the
"Oh, yeah,
lamest
fuck
shit
you,
ever."
man," and then they would hug.
Yeah.
It became like a meme.
Yeah.
Hey, that's great. That's really good.
One of my mates got in a fight and they got pressured into fighting. They did not want to fight.
Yeah.
But there was like, everyone was just like, "No, you got to do it. You got to do it."
Yeah.
So it was all organized, went to a park near the school. They started punching on
Yeah.
and they did rounds. So first round they fought and they're like, "All right, take a break." And then one of them goes to the bubbler, has a drink. And then the other one, the one fighting him, goes to the bubbler, lines up behind him. And then the guy goes, "All right, you go now." And so they're like being polite at the bubbler to each other.
That's
And then they come
crazy.
back for round two.
They're like, oh, you want to go off to El Chana's? They're just like literally having a banter, like having a kebab together. And be like, okay, let's go back. Where were we?
It was all pressure. They did not want to do it, but that pressure's so real.
That's so it is a lot of pressure because fighting means a lot when you're in, I guess, like high school.
Yeah.
It's
everything.
Such a big thing.
The worst is when someone gets angry and they start crying. Oh. That's just embarrassing. I always thought that would happen to me, so I just avoided fights. Because
Same.
when
I
I was a
get too
kid,
emotional.
yeah, when I was a kid, if I got really angry, I'd cry.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah.
like, if I get in a punch, I'm going to be crying. Like,
Hey.
I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, that's me now. If it's like,
If I'm having sex with a woman, I must be getting very angry because I am crying.
if I'm like spazzing like that, the anger is very closely tied to sadness or something like that.
I think it's just you don't know what your emotions are. So like after doing training, like you've done training, I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like if I did get in a fight, I'd be just calm and collected.
100%.
And that's what happened with the guy with the
You're
shoulder.
like, I know how this is ending.
Yeah. Like that 50-year-old guy hit. I had no emotion at all. I was just like, I just got to get this guy out
That's
of here.
so cool. Yeah.
So there was no actual anger. There was no sadness. Just quick hit and get out of there.
Imagine like doing some sort of some sort of martial arts that kind of promote fighting and emotions.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, we're starting off with a cry, thinking about someone. You're going to call this person names until you get kind of worked up. And it's like, okay, so you have a lot of strength. So you have to kind of do really short punches. And you got to get very aggressive with it. Because you have to make it go bad. So you're losing.
And then you hug at the end.
What about that punch, like the real tiny ones where you just kind of like the semi beater?
Yeah.
The semi beater. What's that?
Yeah, that's that. When you beat someone up, he's like, yo, he's getting hard. Yo, man, he's
But
getting
not too hard.
but not too hard. I'll still classify this one as a semi.
Let's get into your story.
Okay, let's get into this one, folks. There's a little video I saw
So,
on YouTube.
40-year-old Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, so it's inside the 40-year-long Dungeons and Dragons game. I came across this.
How did you come across this?
I don't know.
Are you into like board games and
Let's just say I was very bored.
He googled dungeons, and this is what came up.
40-year-old dungeon?
So I thought this was a funny thing to cover this 40-year-long Dungeons and Dragons game.
Press play.
Okay, let's press play.
When you were 11, what if it never stopped?
My name is Robert Warnoff. I'm a history professor at the University of Western Ontario. I am a dungeon master for a campaign that has been going on for 40 years.
What began in secret with a few friends has turned into a game that takes up much of Robert's life and most of his house. Robert has around 30,000 hand-painted figurines, countless custom-made pieces of terrain.
I never understand.
dozens of devoted
Like, do these
players
people just
taking
have too
part
much
in his
money?
campaign.
If you're going to keep
It's-
the game going for 40 years,
Yeah, if you're going to keep a game going for 40 years.
Like, don't they have a job?
I
How do
think-
people have these hobbies?
I think what happened is we'll end the game as soon as one of us gets laid. That's what I think's happened here.
It's insane.
I think what happens, you have a job and then you spend all your money on your
That's
little
nuts.
thing. Yeah.
I could never do that.
Really?
Never.
You don't have any like interest? Do you know what? I really like this. I like watching this video because it's kind of cool. There's something kind of cool about someone investing so much into something.
I don't know.
Anyway, let's keep watching it.
it's going to have to be a good game. If you're going to have people who are going to want to play and are going to want to fly in, you're going to have to offer a product that is going to be better than all the other alternatives that are out there.
And he's saying to them,
There's some money involved.
there's a
definitely.
woman that wants to have sex with you if you come to watch this game.
That's what I was going to say. How's he making money?
I'm guessing people are paying to play.
No, he's not doing this full time. This is just part time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's literally, he has like a full time job.
But this might be his side hustle.
This is a little side hustle.
Yeah, real
It's just
professional.
Like,
real,
yeah,
real
come on, Red. Are
professional.
you kidding? It's a podcast.
The only one of us who's got a message during this thing. Yeah, what's he doing full time? What's he doing?
I
outside?
don't know. He obviously has some sort of job that he can finance this game because he's not playing it full. I think he mentions he plays it 10 hours a week,
All right.
but he does a lot of painting in the meantime as well. Okay, let's see this video.
I can certainly say with confidence that,
I have never had sex with a woman.
that this is the best Dungeons & Dragons game in the world.
This is white privilege.
It's just white privilege being able to play Dungeons and Dragons non-stop.
So if I'm playing for 10 hours a week at 52 weeks in a year, that means if I'm doing that times 40, that would be 20,800 hours.
Not having sex with a woman.
Is he married?
What do you think? What do you think, Riv? What do you
Like,
think?
is there a woman in the house?
Is there a woman
No,
in the
there's
house?
no woman in the
Yeah.
house.
What's going up? He's played for 124 million minutes.
As you crest the ridge, there seems to be quite a commotion. You estimate it could be as many as 24 or so goblins.
There's also 24 or so goblins in this room playing this game right now.
Look at the
You
swords.
surprise them as much as they have surprised you.
Surprise them.
Just
What
play
is it? What is it? Going. He goes home to his mum and says, "I met a woman."
I need a surprise roll.
That's really just the start. Almost every major decision in Robert's life is designed to keep the game going.
So I will not have sex with any women because I want this game to keep on going on.
When I was buying a house, the most important part for me
Was
Making
have
sure that no women would ever enter it.
and I
Here
just
we
have a
go.
single bed because no other woman or person is going to be in a bed with me.
was getting a gaming space that I could use. My entire basement is my gaming area.
If he doesn't slow down, he's gonna need a bigger house.
I have a lot of figs. I've got orcs, I've got elves, I've got dwarves.
And I don't have a girlfriend.
I've got all the basic things that you'd expect.
Apart from the touch of a woman.
But I also have very distinct and unique figs. I have vampire.
I don't know if I like him calling them figs.
I don't know if I like calling him figs either. I feel him and his buddies classify the figs as something that we don't know behind the scenes.
I have zombies, I have werewolves, beholders, Tiamat, the mother of all dragons, all the big demonic lords from the Demogorgon, but also heroes. So all the great kings and queens of countries, the high-level wizards, all of these things. My goal is to have everything.
But what's the point of
Except the girlfriend.
so many figurines if you don't have any amazing terrain to place them on? Robert has no shortage in that department either.
He also has no shortage of the not getting women department as well.
I need to be able to adapt to wherever the party's going to go. That
But it's not going to go into a room with a woman.
means that I need to have my green terrains. I need to have mountain terrain. I need to have all of my winter terrain, my arid desert terrains, my water terrains. If they're going to go into a town, now I need a town. Okay, are they in a Roman town? Are they in an Anglo-Saxon town?
Just as long as there's no women present in those towns.
Because I wouldn't know what to do if I saw one.
African town. Is it high medieval? Is it low medieval? So
Imagine like Dungeons and Dragons like a game, so I think like the director or whatever the person's name, the narrator or something,
Yeah.
will tell you what the next step of the story is.
Yes, there's such a creative element going on.
And it just never like there's so you enter the room and there's a female elf and everyone at the table kind of sits forward.
It's okay. She's left. She's left. She's left. we can all relax. Someone just starts sweating profusely.
She says, "I've never had sex," and I say, "Good. We're gonna get along just fine."
Okay, let's see what's going on in here.
now I'm trying to be able to put out a village or a town for every one of these historical settings.
And in every one of these historical settings, I've not had sex with a woman. Here we go. He's opening a door. What's going on here?
I can't put figurines on the table unless
Or a woman in my bed. Do you think this guy has actually ever had sex?
Yes.
I'm sure he's going to a brothel or
I
something.
think he's gone to a brothel. I don't think he has.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's
He
even
looks
like
dressed like a man that's had sex. He doesn't look like a virgin.
You think so?
He's dressed clean, unless the documentary people dressed him up.
I think, yeah, for these things, you usually have a stylist. And you usually get hair and makeup done.
Right.
No matter what's going on.
I really think there's something about this story that kind of insinuates that he's a virgin. Like this story is
Yeah.
called 40-Year-Old Long Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
embarrassing bodies, but this is like embarrassing people.
Yeah.
Embarrassing virgins.
This is also his best shirt.
Yeah.
That's the thing as well. You have to remember that when you are going to be in a documentary or so, you're going to bring your best shirt.
Yeah, that's the thing about these kind of documentaries. You're technically making fun of this guy. That's what this whole
That's
thing's
what
about.
it is. I'm watching it feeling sorry for him. I'm kind of
Yeah.
intrigued.
It's not like anyone's watching and be like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe we should get into that. No, this is about this is some
Yeah,
weird
this is
shit.
a sad man right now.
I disagree.
I think it's kind of cool though. I think it could get some certain people.
Yeah, but do you
onto-
think anyone's watching this and thinking, yeah, maybe we should play?
Maybe. I thought, oh, this looks really cool. There's a lot of dedication involved. with
Maybe
what
not
he
we
does.
should play, but it's interesting at the very least.
It is interesting.
It's unusual. Like, 'cause
We've
what
all
is it?
just agreed it is interesting.
Let's continue it. This part, he's painting certain figurines,
How
which
many-
I didn't even know there was such an art.
Can we read some of the comments as well?
Yeah, we'll read some of the
They
comments.
are painted up to a certain level. That means that someone's got to do a heck of a lot of painting. And so that ends up being me.
Because I'm doing not doing a heck a lot of having sex with women.
If you found me on an average day working on the game, you'd
Not on an average day, I would not be with a woman.
probably see me in my painting room.
Not with a
and
woman.
I'm going to be spending 2, 3, 4 hours painting figs.
And do people take their figs home?
No.
And have you ever taken a woman home? No, nobody is allowed to take their figurines home until I'm allowed to take a woman home.
Nobody is actually allowed to touch the figs on the table. So that's all.
And no one's allowed to touch my penis. And that's why no one has. It's because they're not allowed.
Sorry, it's just a rule I've made. That's the only thing.
So they probably come to my table and they immediately reach over to grab their fig. I'm probably going to growl at them and tell them, don't touch the figs because I have to move everything. I'm sure my critics would say that there's a god complex going on about that. This here is the figurine of the demon lord Orcus. It's well known to Dungeons and Dragons, and in my campaign 100 years ago, which would be in actual time something like maybe 1989.
Which was the last time I passed a woman in the street.
Let's look at some of these comments.
Let's look at some of these comments. Okay. What are they saying here? This is an interesting one. A history professor running a D&D campaign. Bet the story is insane. The relationship might not last forever, but the game will. Love is strong. The passion for D&D. Okay, they're all
Some
really,
people, yeah,
really
people are
positive.
taking it serious.
They're really, honest, honestly.
It's a huge game, right?
Genuine
It's like
respect.
FIFA. A lot of people are into it.
Yeah.
I've been going to sleep watching.
Oh, here we go. I'm a lifelong friend of Robert's and been playing the game for 25 years, and I can confirm he has not had sex with a woman.
A dungeon master able to keep the attention of players for that long is nothing short of a wizard.
But he can't keep the attention of a woman in a bar for longer than 10 seconds before she walks away.
It's a really tough pill to swallow. Like, you have hobbies. People can nerd out on things.
Yeah.
But a lot of things that people like are attractive. Like if you're like music or something like that,
Yeah.
it's kind of attractive. This is not attractive.
I think it could be a bit unless there are women involved. And we've seen his friends that are playing this game and there's no women at the table. It's something that only dudes really like,
Yeah.
which is the thing. I'm going to fast forward until there's a woman on the screen. Oh, is that a woman on the screen? Let's see. No, that's from...
Oh, it's a child, even better.
There's a child. Yep, there's no woman. He's in a room just with dudes. Let's have a look at the room with the dudes in it.
Go to the part where it's replayed the most.
Oh yeah,
I love that feature.
I do like that feature.
I can just skip to what other people are watching.
Oh, there we go. Great.
I'm trying to create emotion. I'm trying to create excitement. People are scared. And knowing that if you die, you could be out of the game or that character that you put so much time in is now dead.
Like my
Obviously,
penis.
People's heart rates are up. There's emotion going on. So I can't be shocked and surprised when that character dies.
But I can be shocked and surprised when a character has sex with a woman.
Oh, there's a woman.
Oh, there's a woman.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's the most replayed part.
As a baby, she's been around this.
Wait a second.
Oh, so he's married. I knew he dressed too well.
I have one daughter, and ever since she was
Oh,
a baby, she's
He's
been
got a
around.
daughter.
I adopted her. So I do because I knew I could do that without having sex with a woman.
He created her in a lab. he painted her.
This poor guy's
This is
wife.
my real wizard.
This poor guy's wife.
Never had sex. I had my best friend actually impregnate my wife because I was scared of her vagina.
They're like, come on, David, can't we have sex tonight? And he like rolls the dice.
You are now dead.
Okay, so he has a wife.
This is
I
wild.
think maybe when she was 6 or 7 was the first time when she asked whether she could play. So
And I
she
said
created
no.
a character as-
So she created her character as a fairy, it says, because she must be living in a magical universe in where she was born, as a result of her father having sex with a woman.
Crown's almost done.
Oh, is Crown almost done? How many more people have they got?
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
We'll
Do we run
wrap
it
now.
Do we
Yeah,
want
you
to
can
run
make
down?
it still.
Yeah, we'll
Just
make it
leg it.
still. Let's leg it down to Crown.
I had a story. Save it for next time. It's a good one.
Yeah.
But Rivy, thank you so much for being
dang.
on.
That was
Been
fun.
an hour 20. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good when it's not extended. What was
That's
our last
true.
one? 3 hours, our last one?
There's
That
something
was
very
so
comfortable.
good, though.
Yeah, there's something very comfortable with you, Riv. I don't know what it is. I could literally watch this video in multiple for the rest of the episode.
But
yeah.
All right. Well, this is Sausage Boy signing off.
Yes.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for
Everyone.
having me.
All right. Till next time.
Okay. Peace out.
Peace
Yup.
out.
Ooh.